on Market Table. I'm visiting Medina's historic public square. Join me as I browse the farmers market, meet the local farmers and vendors, and create a simple, family-friendly meal using fresh, organic produce. In this episode, we're getting ready for the county fair. Join us while we meet some of the girls from Daisy Cakes, and I'll show you how to create an adorable party favor idea for any young animal lover. To market we go. My name is Kristin Gambaccini, and this is Market Table. So we're here at the Daisy Cakes table with Barbie, and I'm so excited to be here because it is amazingly decorated. This is so cute, and it's the middle of summer, but there's Christmas stuff. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
So there's a Christmas in July theme this week, and there's a contest actually going on where the best decorated tent will get a prize. And I love Christmas, so it was easy for me to pull from my own collections over the years and try to display like how I would like to display the cake pops. Yes. in the Christmas months. I think it's a nice table decoration, and when you host parties, it's nice to leave them on the table decorated this way to present them to your company.
Yes, I agree. So this is so fun, and you really did go all out, because I've seen a couple people with like Santa hats, but I've not seen a table quite like this. So this is so fun. And actually, we were just talking about this. I can't get over this decoration. So tell me a little bit about these cake pops. Tell me what makes these different than, getting them from another vendor or another place. Now, the owner of Daisy Cakes, she's originally from Hudson, is that?
Yes, and she was a math teacher up until the end of this school year. And this was actually a project that she started in her class, where the kids helped her with a marketing plan and a business plan model. And this just evolved from that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And so she was able to stop teaching this year, which is a loss for the students because she's a great teacher. But at the same time, she's putting all of her energy into this business now. It's really, I think, probably encouraging her creative side, because if you notice, like, the cake pops, not only are they beautiful, but they're delicious too. So I was not really a fan of cake pops. My first experience was pretty tragic. And then my husband, we actually learned about her because he was looking for Christmas gifts for his clients at the end of the year. So she does logo branding pops. You could see this one here. CESO is the company that my husband works for. So every one of his clients would get a CESO branded pop for his business, but then also some of the Christmas assortments. So that's how we learned about her, and she converted me with her cake pops.
Well, that's obviously, because now you work for her.
I work for her, and I get an employee discount.
Right. Most importantly,
we order every week from her. Like this week, she even has Harry Potter packs,
which is my favorite.
Yeah, and she even has these little martini cake pop. Yes. Themed. Yes. Pops. They're so creative.
So even though she is in Hudson, you are here at the Medina Farmers Market every week, right? Yes. Every Saturday?
Until October. Right. And that came up because my husband, Don, he said, did you ever think about selling in the market? Because she was on the smaller scale, like more local. And she said, no, but let me look into it. So she got permission to set up. And my husband volunteered my daughter, who just arrived. She's 12. So she can't obviously manage it on her own. So I'm here helping her out, assisting her with her sales techniques. And she's super passionate about the pops too, because I feel like they're joyful.
Yes.
Like they're delicious, but they're also inspiring to look at because of how beautiful they're decorated.
They are. They're very beautifully decorated. So real quick, tell me what this is. I see this. This looks like something that would be in a classroom.
It is.
Explain this to me.
It's a cake pop counter. So whenever someone orders a cake pop, we have them do the math here at the market. And then after they add how many cake pops they order, they get to ring the bell and say, cake pops, because it's a celebration every time someone makes a purchase. So like,
fun.
I was scrolling through last year because we only knew about Amy for maybe a little less than a year. So I was scrolling through her Facebook feed, and I noticed that her cake pop count was in like $35,000 or 35,000 cake pop range.
Okay.
And this year, so far in July, we're already almost at 60,000. So the goal this year is 100,000, and I'm pretty sure we'll get there.
Yes. And that's such a fun way. I love this. It's very interactive, and it's such a fun way to really bring the community in and show them, you know, how well it's doing. I think that's really important for people to know, because that means it's a reliability thing, right?
Well, on top of that, it's fun counting with the kids. So if they're like smaller, we count together while we flip the numbers up.
Yes.
And
Which sounds like something a teacher would have thought of.
and it incorporates Amy throughout the
Yes.
whole process, because math is a passion of hers too. So she still gets to hold on to that part.
That's so cool. Now, what happens at the end of the day, at the end of the farmer's market, if you have some left over, which I don't know if that's even a thing, if you have some left over, but then what happens with those cake pops?
Well, we also arranged with Cool Beans here on the square. Whatever we don't sell, they end up buying, and then they sell out of Cool Beans during the week. So
You
works
heard
out
that
good.
here. If you do not make it to the farmer's market, you can get them at Cool Beans.
And you can also order online, and there's more selection online, and it's actually cheaper to buy them online. And if you buy them online, you don't have to worry about shipping, because they bring them to me every Saturday, and you could pick up from us every week.
That's so convenient and
Yeah.
perfect. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Thank you for sharing this. And I look forward to creating something really cool with these cake pops.
Well, you know, there's actually a pack online where a kit at home that you can do with the kids. It's good activity for like over the summer break.
Yes.
So, and there's also a tutorial on how to make the cake pops at home with the kids.
Okay.
And even if they don't come out as beautiful as these, they're still going to be delicious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes it doesn't matter what it looks like, just what it tastes like, especially if you're trying to replicate something as beautiful as these. Thank you so much. We love the county fair, and here in Medina, we have a fantastic county fair. We actually will be taping Market Table at the Medina County Fair on August 7th at 6 o'clock, so make sure that you mark that on your calendars and come and visit us. But to get ready for the fair, we're going to be making a really fun craft, but we're going to be using something a little bit different. We're using Daisy Cakes cake pops as part of our craft. And what I love about these is they're colorful, they're fun. I didn't have to make them, which is always a bonus. And they're just such a great idea for a party gift, a party favor, or even if you were having a party for your children and you wanted an activity to keep the kids busy, this is a great idea. So we have our Daisy Cakes cake pops, and these are the Fruity Pebble flavor. She has all different ones to choose from. We have our farm animals here, and I bought these you can actually find these anywhere. A lot of times they even have them at the dollar store. I found these ones online. I just my biggest thing when I was looking for was making sure that they were a larger size animal because of what we're going to be using them for. And of course, we made the party hats. This is something we made on our episode for the birthday bonanza, the birthday celebration for Craft Table. We talked about making these little tiny party hats to put on top of animals or dinosaurs for a cake topper, a party favor, or even just decoration. So these guys already have their festive party hats on. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut around this backside of the animal to open it up so that we can add our treats. Especially if this is a party favor, this is a really, really great idea. Something to send the kids home with, maybe different than just a bag with some treats in it. So what I'm going to do is I have my X-Acto knife here, and these animals tend to be hollow on the inside. And so you really just need to make sure that you can get through the plastic and cut around. And I didn't measure. You could always kind of make some marks on the animal to make sure that you're cutting it the way that you want it. This guy I didn't measure, so I'm just kind of eyeballing it and making sure that I'm just about equal in where I'm cutting it. with my X-Acto knife to get this piece off. So you want to just go slow, meet your corners, meet your edges. Again, if you wanted to follow a pencil line or something just to make sure that you're cutting it in the right spot, that's totally fine and might make it easier for you. This is definitely something, if this was a craft you were doing with the kids, you would want to make sure that this was done beforehand, because obviously the X-Acto knives can be pretty sharp. So we've got him. I've got one little section here, and if it's not perfect, it's okay, because we're filling him up with treats and we're filling him up with cake pops, and you're not really even going to see these cut edges. So we have him here, and you can see the hole big enough that you can definitely get in there and add some treats. This horse here, I've already got him cut, and you can see the next part is this piece of styrofoam that I'm putting in here, and this is what's going to help hold those cake pops up. Now I just have a random piece of styrofoam. Obviously I have a lot of craft supplies, but these you can find at the dollar store, you can find these at the craft store, and really you only need one piece of styrofoam. This was just kind of like a 6-inch round piece for a handful of animals. So keep that in mind, you don't need a whole lot. And I'm just gonna kind of cut a small piece out. Again, I'm not really measuring, I'm just kind of trying to see what is gonna fit inside there. And then once you get that inside, we don't want to glue that because you want to kind of leave it open. I think you could always glue it in place if you were worried about the cake pops moving around. I'm not going to glue it. I'm just going to add my cake pops and then add the candy on top that kind of covers up that styrofoam. So I have my sticks here from the pops. I did cut these down. I probably cut off about 1 inch from the sticks, because if they're too high, your animals might fall and be, you know, top heavy or side heavy. So you just want to make sure that your sticks are the right length. And what I love about these inside of here is they almost kind of look like balloons. And I think that is so cute. And not to mention the fact that, I'm not gonna lie, if I was invited to a party and this was the party favor, I think I'd be pretty happy. I think I would be pretty happy with going home with this as a party favor. So I have my cake pops in here, and I've just kind of pushed them down into that styrofoam piece that I put inside of my little pig. And then the next step is going to be to just fill him up. I have Skittles here because it kind of matches the theme and the color scheme and the primary colors. But depending on what decoration you have on your cake pop, you could obviously fill it up with M&Ms or Reese's Pieces, or really any candies that you would rather use to go inside. And I'm just kind of drop it in, drop it around these cake pops. You might have to kind of lift them up and move them around. But what ends up happening is your animal ends up being kind of the carrier for all of the fun treats. So got a few more that I can do. And of course, you know, if your kids were here helping, they could always catch the ones that fall. I'm sure that they would end up in their mouths, but at least it wouldn't be on your floor. And I've got a couple more on this side. I want to make sure that I'm really mixing up the colors to make it super fun. Got that one. And I think he's just about full, this little pig. So I'm going to move on to the horse. That is probably the most adorable party favor I've ever seen. He's so cute. I can't get over him. I hope that you enjoy making these. You will not believe how easy they are. And I'll see you at the market. Head to KristinGambaciniBlog.com for this recipe and others seen on Market Table.